Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to game 1 of a best of 3 series in the Arambai division, which I will change soon. I do realise that's wrong. Being played live in the Mastapiece Theatre, which is a 1v1 tournament for players who follow the Viper and are in his Discord server. In this series and in the blue on this map, we have Gurke. He'll be playing as the Chinese, and in the top of the map in the green we have Kiwi playing as the Mayans. Chinese versus Mayans. I will quote here and say that, quote, Chinese are the best civ on Arabia 1v1, end quote. We'll see if that actually if that statement is actually true in this series, seeing as the Chinese player is going up against one of the other best civs in Arabia 1v1 in the Mayans. Let's take a look at the civs in more depth, shall we? Chinese, they start with an extra 3 villages, but less resources as to balance. Otherwise, they'd just be a little bit OP. Their technologies also cost less as the game goes on, and their town tend to support extra population. The demo ship thing doesn't apply in this game, for there is no water on this very green Arabia. They get the Chukonu, which is probably it's my favorite unit to play as with the Chinese, because of the damage output they do. They have a crossbow that kind of fires like a machine gun, as I've been explaining it across this tournament. And they also benefit from rocketry after it's been researched, which gives them an extra 2 to attack. Their scorpions also get an extra 4 attack. And the other important bonus is that their farms get an extra 45 food. Mayans, they're also an archer civ. They also get an extra village to start off with, but only minus 50 food because it's only 1. Their resources last 15% longer, and their archers cost less as the game goes on, starting in feudal age. The unique unit is the plumed archer, which is, again, probably their best unit of choice, which is just a really fast, super high PS armor. Or not super high PS armor, but it has 2 PS armor archer. And then unique techs, obsidian arrows, which benefits their foot archers, which does not include the plumed archer. It gives them extra bonus damage versus buildings, and Eldorado, which gives their eagle warriors extra hit points, and their walls cost less. I prefer Chinese over Mayans to win this series. Not series, and win this game. Just because they have that slight edge and economic advantage, having that extra villager throughout the entirety of Dark and Feudal Age, assuming they are played right. Now I'm going to change the scoreboard real quick to make sure it says Arambai division. It may be in the wrong place, like not centered for a little bit, but it is kind of bugging me that it doesn't say Arambai division. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about the maps while both players go through their Dark Age process. I've noticed a barracks coming up for Kiwi, so he may be looking to go militia, man-at-arms into archers. Kiwi has some very forward resources, whereas Gurke has all of his resources in the back, and they're also now really safe with these walls coming up. Actually, Gurke will be fully walled before Kiwi even its feudal age. Kiwi has clicked up first. Uh, what's better than with Twitch Prime? No idea what you're talking about, to be fair. I haven't been focused on chat. I do prefer Gurke's map, especially with these walls up. There is militia being made, like I said. They will end up being man-at-arms, though. And he'll probably follow that up with an archer play. That is also a good point. This hill, or these hills in the middle rather, they could be very, very important later on if one of the if it goes late game and one of the players has control of that hill. These militia now going forward, probably going to try and punch a hole in the wall here. I do think Kiwi realizes that. Oh, he doesn't see, but I think he will realize that Gurke is pretty much fully walled. Kiwi will be fully walled himself relatively soon. Man-at-arms immediately on the way. Kiwi electing to... Never mind, I was about to say he's electing to wait for Man-at-arms to come in before he starts smacking at the wall, but he's gonna move in now. Good awareness by Kiwi to realize that Gurke is just gonna wall behind this wall by seeing that this palisade became a thicker bit of wall. Chinese player playing it very defensively. Probably looking to do more of a fast castle build. He has gone up to feudal age with 28 villages in comparison to the standard 22. Double range being dropped for Kiwi. Kiwi just being a little bit annoying with these man-at-arms, causing Gurke to build behind the walls, causing a little bit of idle, in quotation marks, time. We'll also reposition. Gurke drops a range and a blacksmith. Once those go up, he will click up. Actually having it pre-queued, not wasting any time at all. Two idle villages by the range. Not ideal, but it happens. Archers and a spearman coming forward for the player in the green. Yes, the civs are Chinese for Gurke, mines for Kiwi, as Azu explained. With these archers here now, which do have fletching, it'll push the villagers walling up right up against the walls back, meaning that Gurke now has to spend a little bit more resources and a little bit more villager time to wall further back out of the range of the archers. Kiwi, little bit of a misclick here, probably losing an archer to the town centre. Relatively even so far in terms of villages and, well, not military. Especially when you consider that Gurke is about to hit Castle Age and Kiwi not even close to clicking up. So, I imagine Kiwi will run back and try to save his archers until he gets enough resources to be able to get into I'll be able to click up to Castle Edge and then get crossbowmen. We'll also probably make a few skirmishes just to defend if need be. Can you do like Viper's overlay showing players rank / win rate? You mean like a chat command or on screen? Crossbowmen now out on the field for the Chinese player, denying this market. Bodkin arrow also immediately in for Gurke. Second town centre up straight away. Kiwi almost able to click up. Both players looking to keep their militaries alive at this stage in the game. Gurke just sitting on this hill. Will take care of the Eagle Scout and the Man-at-Arms. I don't know if he cleans it up. One more shot and he would. Kiwi now up to Castle Edge. Loco, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. I don't know if you mean a command or anything, or if you actually want it on screen. These crossbow looking to be as much of a nuisance as they possibly can. Now, once Mine Player hits Castle Edge, he will have quite a significant military lead. Kiwi being a little bit flashy there with the split micro, like Larry does. Now, I think it is important to note that Gurke's only on one range in comparison to Kiwi's two. Kiwi will be able to outproduce Gurke, which is why he has exactly double the amount of archers on the field, and then more in the ranges. Funny that double the ranges equals double the archers. Crossbow and Bodkin coming out straight away. I also expect a town centre to be dropped, which there is, in a relatively good position. Just, I suppose it's gaining control of this area. Third town centre down for Gurke, and a siege workshop being dropped at home. Third town centre also going down for the Mine Player. It's a bit of an engagement coming down in the middle of the map. Kiwi with the hill advantage, managing to kill 4 crossbows and only losing 1. I also hear that 2 HP Man-at-Arms. For a second I thought it was a knight from like Gurke, because Kiwi can't make knights. Now, I wouldn't at all be surprised to see a castle being tried to drop and then obsidian arrows being researched. Two mangonels now out on the field for the blue player. University now being dropped for Kiwi. He's looking to get ballistics relatively soon. I've just noticed this is quite a big open area. I'm surprised there isn't like a wood line in here or something. It's almost as if you could just have a starting TC spawn there. Mangonel's now going forward with the small army from Gurke. Kiwi does have the hill though, so it will be pretty hard for Gurke to fight up this way. Now, if he's not careful, he might. Okay, no, he doesn't. He's safe. He will kill the Mangonel, and Gurke will just run away. Ballistic's not quite in just yet for Kiwi. Both players still on 3 TCs from what I can see. Good Mangonel shot, I'd say. Did some pretty good damage. More archers coming in for the green player. For what I can tell, Kiwi's got some pretty decent micro. See pop comparison. Oh, did I have it on the wrong one? Population difference is 1, but with a significant villager lead to the blue player, but then also quite a significant military lead to the green player. So this is quite an even game. 2 Mangonels trundling out. There's a castle being dropped on this hill. I don't think it will be denied immediately. Could see it denied though. Split micro incoming from the blue player. Managing to avoid both Mangonel shots. Not that time though. That's a really, really good shot coming in from Gurke. Another good shot coming in from Gurke. He's going to run up this side of the hill. He's also bringing villagers forward. Losing archers on the right hand side. Losing crossbows on the left hand side. Losing villagers building the castle. Are we seeing a doubt castle for the first time in this series? That was a really, really good engagement. I have no idea why these villagers came forward. I think he may have wanted to build a castle of his own. It was a really good engagement for Gurke, managing to deny the castle. But then he will. Oh, he's taking more good hits with the Mangonel. You know, he could have. I don't know if the trick where you can delete the Mangonel uphill and it still does max damage is still in effect in this game. I don't know if they patched that. Does anyone know? Hey Theo. This castle will eventually go up in the end though. Gurke opting to build a castle on this hill instead. Imperial Age coming out for Gurke as well, so you will have trebuchets out first. Chuko Nu also being made. Plumed Archer for the Mayan player being made. Both players will look to get more castles down. Could be another engagement over here. Kiwi does see the castle up now for the green player. Kiwi with the score lead for the first time in this game, from what I can tell. Has 9 more population now, and does have quite a significant military lead. Lots of production buildings being made from Gurke as well. Great game so far. I agree. This engagement in particular was pretty good. I did enjoy that. Both players opting to play it relatively safe for the time being. Rams coming out for the Gurke. Both players up to Imperial Age, but Gurke will get there about now. We'll probably see Capped Ram come out, and that's how we'll push this castle. Eagle Scouts being made for the green player, but I don't see Eagle Warrior being researched or any more scouts Eagle Scouts coming out. Siege Workshop being dropped for on the front for Kiwi. These Eagle Scouts looking to do some raiding if they can. Probably won't be able to get through the double walls though of the Chinese player. Arbalest now on the field. Ah, no, does he see this? He does. That's smart play. He's walling in his castle. Admittedly, there is a trebuchet there, and Gurke does see the trebuchet, so he does see the walls coming up. So he realizes he needs to push now. It will be fully walled, so that will allow the green player to defend a little bit easier. Here comes the massed crossbows of the Mayan player. He is still only in castle age though, so opting to use the archers against the crossbows against the rams. I think this ram has found a spot where he can hit the castle. Kiwi now fighting. Gurke now fighting uphill against the crossbows. Kiwi's also now in Imperial Age. There is a mangonel coming out. He will probably use that to try and flatten the 12 Arbalest of Gurke. I imagine this is probably first game of the day for both players, so we could see a few mistakes starting to come through as the game progresses. I think this castle might go down with the 2 trebuchets and the capped ram. Capped ram will die. Oh, quite a good engagement also coming down here. Both players now with Arbalest and Bracer with equal upgrades. 3rd trebuchet coming out for the blue player. 1st trebuchet out for Kiwi. Manga now doing work. Oh, what a good shot. Trebuchet taking down the mangonel of Kiwi. Also the trebuchet of Kiwi's going down now. Now I do think that if Kiwi loses control of this hill, I think it could end up snowballing in Gurke's favour. This hill is probably the most important thing in this game for either player to win. This hill here is Gurke's win condition. Cheers, Samuel. Skirmisher and Elite Skirm now being researched by Gurke. Gurke looking to reposition his army around the left side. Maybe looking to pressure this side of the green player's base, or even further around. For some reason my mouse doesn't work on the map, but we'll soldier on. That's really weird. Kiwi will now see that that Gurke's army is over here. He's dropping barracks, but that's in response to the skirmisher coming out. He will probably take a really good engagement. It's not ideal to go against skirmisher though. It's actually really weird. My UI isn't working properly. My UI is entirely frozen. I have no idea who has the score lead. I have no idea who has the population lead. We'll keep going. We'll just cast what's happening on screen. Yeah, thanks to you. Score is so even. I don't think it could be more even than that. Really good engagement coming in from Gurke now. Managing to deal damage to the majority of Kiwi's standing army. Damn, I wish I knew what population everyone had now. I could talk about that. Can I even... Nah, my UI's broken. I can't even click the menu button, so I'm gonna have to Alt F4 the game after this game. Oh, it's kind of funny. I don't... yeah, no, they're Eagle Warriors. Eagle Warrior now out for the green player. Another castle being built in the back defensively. Probably a good decision. Needs to... Damn it. Needs to get control of this area of the map. It's so broken, I know. This is so weird. I'll soldier on. I don't even know how long the game's gone for. Rangers being chucked up on north of the Ford Castle. There is also... It's a monk. It's just a monk. Actually, that's a good point. Relics have been collected by at least one of the players. I don't know if the green player... He does have a monastery and he does have a relic down here, but he's probably forgotten about it. Gurke slowly chipping away at Kiwi's base. Now, from what I can physically see, I think that Gurke may have the military advantage at this point in the game. Gurke is 1,000 points ahead at the moment. Are you also watching the game? Village is going down on the front gold. Click to select the siege weapon. Oh, this is so weird. Most of the standing army now going down for Kiwi. I think this is slowly but surely going further and further in the favor of the Chinese player. I think the longer the game goes on as well, the more in favor of the Chinese player it gets. Unless the Eagle Warrior tech switch can come in. I can't even see what upgrades they have. God damn it. Champion coming in now for Gurke, which is the right call. You expect any of the three Mesosivs actually to go for the Eagle Warrior option, especially against massed range unit like this. Castle will probably go down on the front. Every time it lags a little bit like that, I always get very hopeful that I'm going to be able to click something. Really good engagement coming in from Kiwi. Oh, not from Gurke. Actually, no, it was better for Kiwi. I was right the first time. Although those Eagle Warriors will now go down. So will that castle. I think if this castle goes down, it might be GG. There is something coming out this way, though. I'm not sure what it is. It's a few Eagle Warriors. Let me slowly trundle on back to the main scene of the action. There we go. There it is. Gurke taking more and more map control as the game goes on as well. This range will go down. This trebuchet will go down. These Eagle Warriors will probably go down to the champion. No, I can't click on the map. It's so strange. It's almost like it's not responding, but the game's still running. And there it is. It's GG. I think... Can I click... I can click that. We can presume that Gurke won, right? Because it doesn't tell me. Oh, this is so strange. What if I Alt-Tab in and out? No, it's so weird. Okay. Right, well, I'll update the scoreboard. It is Alt F4 time. I'll update the scoreboard 1-0 in favour of Gurke. I assume it's definitely 1-0 and a plot twist, the game is still going on. That would be kind of funny. I'll chuck you to that screen. I'll Alt F4 my game. Wait for Steam to recognise that the game has closed, reopen it, and hopefully catch the start of Game 2 between Gurke and Kiwi. That was a very good game, I must say. Come on, chat, who's your money on? Kiwi or Gurke? I know we've got a lot of Gurke's clan mates in here. I'm sure you're all rooting for him. I see Tars is saying go Kiwi. Azu being undecisive, or indecisive rather. I've been told they're about to start, but my game is still loading. Oh, come on, DE. Come on, PC, you can do it. Please. I'll copy the game code so I can paste it in straight away. Oh, yeah, and you've posted the game code in chat. Oh, that's weird. My taskbar is now showing up and it won't go away. You know what? I'll deal with it. And if it shows up on stream, well, I guess you'll deal with it too. Technical difficulties. Gotta love them, don't you? Right. Map 2 is on Acropolis. If I go... No. Okay. I fixed it. Good. Right. Heading into game 2 of this so far very good best of 3 series between Gurke and Kiwi. Game 2 will be played on Acropolis. In the blue again. On the left hand side of the map, playing as the Indians, we have Gurke. And on the right hand side of the map, in the green, we have Kiwi playing as the Mongols. Indians and Mongols, that's a very interesting matchup. I do think we have seen this matchup earlier on in this tournament, but it was on a different map, to my knowledge. So I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. I do kind of favour Mongols, assuming the game is finished early, rather. Because the Indian late game is actually pretty damn strong with the Imperial Camel. It wouldn't be a Jason stream with if not having technical difficulties. I agree. Have them all the time. I'm still watching that frame dropping thing to make sure it doesn't cut out on me. Let's look at the Indians, shall we? Before I talk about the maps, their villages cost less across the game, and they cost even less as the game progresses. Their fishermen work 10% faster. I don't think that will come into play unless, of course, Gurke decides he wants to mill these fish, but that's unlikely. And their camel riders have an extra pierce armor. Now that is important against Mongols, and I'll explain why later. Check the Discord. Okay, no, you're talking among yourselves. Sultans is... there's been a pause, by the way. Sultans is one of the unique techs where all gold income is 10% faster. It's only after that's researched. And Shatangi, which gives the hand cannoneers extra range. Hand cannoneer is another option of the Indians. They also get access to the Imperial Camel, which is presumed to be the best camel unit in the game, to my knowledge. They don't get access to the Nightline, though, which is also important to point out. And their camel units get an extra 5 attack versus buildings. The unique unit, the main unique unit, rather, no one uses it. Most people just opt for the Imperial Camel. For a second I thought I was having the same problem. Mongols, they are cavalry archers. Their cavalry archers fire 20% faster. Their light cavalry, hussar, and step lancers are more tanky, and their hunters work 40% faster. This can be really beneficial. They've started playing again, in the early game, especially if they want to go for a scout rush, which is the typical standard play of the Mongols. It's generally the early game strategy the Mongol player goes for. You can sometimes see them go for archers, though. Now, the reason why I say that the extra pierce armor on the camels was so important is because of the Mangudai, which is the unique unit of the Mongols. It is a cavalry archer that fires really fast and has bonus damage against siege units. It is also the main unit of choice for the Mongols. The reason I say it so that the extra pierce armor was so important is because Mangudai, they do pierce armor as they are an archer unit. So when we see those camel Mangudai fights later on, if we see that, rather, you will see what I mean. Unique text nomads. This isn't a very popular thing to research, but it can be helpful later on. It's where their houses don't lose population as they are destroyed. And drill, which makes their siege workshop units move like NASCARs. They're very fast, and their team bonus, their scouts get an extra line of sight. Looking at the maps, it's so nice to be able to click on the map again. Hopefully it doesn't break. Acropolis. The thing with Acropolis is you start on the high ground, and then you have this terrain that you cannot build on before you get to the low ground, where all the main sources of wood and the extra golds are, and stones and whatnot. The wood lines are they're not ideal on the top of the Acropolis, but you will sometimes see players go for it. The second ball coming in now, probably for both players. Mongol player actually opting to push in some more of that hunt. I don't see any deer around the place, so. And actually they're going for their standard 18 pop scout rush, which you see quite commonly from Mongols. It's a super fast scout rush where you go up to feudal age before 8 minutes and you chuck a stable up, and you've got like 3 scouts on the field before your opponent has advanced themselves. It can be really strong if done well. In terms of map generation, there's also not a lot of gold and stone on top of the Acropolis. Now, we haven't actually seen much of Acropolis during throughout this tournament yet, or at least from what I've casted. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out at the quote top level of this tournament. It is the top level of this tournament. There isn't a lot of gold on top of the Acropolis. There is more of the gold around the map, but there isn't a lot. So it is very likely that we could end up seeing this game turn into a trash war of such. That was a nice little bit of quick walling. Kiwi looking to steal a few sheep. I don't think it'll be successful though. Really nice bit of quick walling from Gurke, as trying to get Kiwi's scout killed. It is actually quite important as the Mongols to keep your initial scout alive, because it can be very helpful in during your initial raid, which is about to come out now. I see 2 scouts being produced immediately from the Mongol player. Now, for those that are wondering, all forms of laming except for deleting straggler trees and boar stealing are allowed in this tournament. Those are the only 2 that aren't. Which is why you saw the attempt to steal some sheep. The 2 new scouts coming out from Kiwi. Gurke does love his straggler trees. He does. Both players actually very even on population. And even on military as well. Does Gurke mean something in German? I guess so. I don't know. Probably. He is German after all. Have to ask him. Or Google Translate it. That'll do it. Gurke now coming forward with scouts of his own, but he's going to find that Kiwi is almost fully walled. Kiwi sees the sky as a hole. There is a hole in the front of Kiwi's base, allowing the 3 scouts in. Oh, nice quick walls coming in from Kiwi. And there's a spearman fort. He did lose a villager though, which isn't ideal. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Dave. Scouts coming back now to defend. If Kiwi's not careful, he's going to overchop here. Wonder if he notices. Scouts are going to run into each other, get a few good hits off. He's going to take 1 scout out. Another one comes in return though. Gurke now has the villager lead. Gurke's also found a nice little hill to play around with. Kiwi losing a scout, but Gurke has the lower HP. How did the first game go? First game went really well. I will probably be uploading this series to YouTube, and there will also be a VOD after the stream finishes for you to watch to make sure you can check it out. It was a pretty good first game, not gonna lie. It's well worth the watch. It's also well worth the wait. For me. Scouts looking to take another engagement. Spearmen coming in for both players as well. Then it is a fruit battle. Oh, cucumber versus kiwi. Scout being poked down. Scouts being poked down for each player now, but now Gurke now has this advantage in terms of scout numbers. Both players currently saving for Castle Age, so we're probably going to see... actually, it's important to see if... He isn't. Okay. Did he patch that up? He did. Good man. I'm pretty sure cucumber is a fruit. Seeing as a cucumber is majority water, could you consider a cucumber as a drink? What constitutes as a fruit anyway? Good bit of micro here. Splitting the scouts off. Trying to keep one alive at least. Gurke will come hunting for it though. Both players up to Castle Age at almost the same time. And slightly in the advantage of the green player. Kiwi is now exposed on this side. Gurke managing to find and take down the last scout from Kiwi. Archery range is being chucked up, so maybe he's looking to go cavalry archer. I wouldn't be surprised at that. I thought cucumber was a vegetable. My life has changed now. I'd still like to know what constitutes as a fruit. Archers coming out from Gurke, looking to turn those into crossbowmen. I'm interested to see if Kiwi decides to go with crossbow or cavalry archer. It is cavalry archer. Both players hitting Castle Age at relatively similar times, as mentioned earlier. These two spearmen looking for the scouts. Gurke looking to pressure this side. Maybe hoping to pick up a few villages, or maybe even get through the walls. Camels also coming out for the Indian player. That's what you'd expect. It's also camels coming out from the Mongols player, which I do find interesting. Or there has been a camel made. This villager will go down. Bit of unawareness from the green player. It happens. Also losing a spearman. For a second I thought that was a villager. Gurke dropping a second town centre down on one of the wood lines down at the bottom of the Acropolis. Viper would have kiwis and cucumbers for breakfast in a second. Still relatively even. There's only a 4 village difference, and that will be increasing due to the extra town centre from the blue player. There is a second town centre up as well for Kiwi. CA now going forward. Now I do prefer the CA option to the crossbow option, just because the cavalry archers have a lot more HP. I think, yeah, Kiwi's now housed Wouldn't be a tournament series without a player being housed, would it? What's Kiwi's plan here? I think his plan's to come forward and try to pressure and come through the walls, maybe, or maybe to see if someone, if there was any villagers on this gold, so he can pick some off. University coming up for Gurke now, looking to get ballistics. Third town centre coming up on the front stone. We'll be looking to get some Mangadai up. Be a nice transition from Cavalry Archer. It's the natural transition from Cavalry Archer, in my opinion. More CA coming out though. They should invent the fruit clan. Are we still going on about fruit? Third TC coming is now up for Gurke. I think the camel may have been a misclick because he's now opting to make knights, or has made 2 knights. He's still housed. He's been housed for the longest time, I swear. Or he just keeps getting housed. I wonder if he hasn't scouted this area, so he doesn't know. So he's more so looking to just come up here and pressure this part of the blue economy. These knights and camels now just running away. Maybe he patrolled them up here. Couple villages going down, maybe. Doesn't have ballistics or thumb ring yet. Could be a little bit of a mistake. Could have gotten 2 or 3 villages if he had had ballistics at the least. Does he have a university up? No, he doesn't. He is in. We'll kill a few villages. It's actually quite a lot of villages going down for Gurke. Is that 7? 8 now? They are walled in. This was kind of smart, but I do think they'll just get out. Oh, no, they are trapped. If he's not careful and doesn't micro this properly. He has shown he has good micro though, earlier on in the series. If he doesn't micro this properly though, he could end up losing most of the CA. It looks like he will actually just lose most of the CA. Realizing he can't actually get them out. That was a good play by Gurke. Swinging the game more heavily in his favor now. There's another stable coming up for Kiwi. Turns out the option definitely was camels to start with. And well, he isn't making any more cavalry archers, but he does have a few more around the place. Gurke now coming forward with a couple of camels. Should have a castle coming up soon for Mongol player. Still housed, even after losing all of that military. He's housed because he deleted these 2 houses. Little bit of mistake. Little bit of a mistake, rather. Still a pretty close game though. He won't be too happy about losing his castle coming up defensively on top of the hill. Actually, I might need to focus on this. Could end up being denied. Yeah, that was the point I was about to make, but I think we could end up seeing a dark castle here. No. Green player does have enough military to make sure that this goes up, unless the blue player can manage to micro down all of these villages, but I don't think he can. He could end up losing all of his crossbows if he's not careful. Villagers gathering inside the town centre, all this crossbow going down on the front for Gurke. Kiwi will be happy with that, especially after losing all these cavalry archers in here. The point I was going to make earlier was that even though he lost all of his army in here, he will still kind of be happy that he managed to deal quite a bit of damage to Gurke's economy, bringing him closer in range. But there is now quite a significant village elite in favour of Gurke. That's one great trade right there. Yes. 4th TC, or is it like the 5th? No, it's definitely the 4th TC coming up for Gurke at the bottom of the Acropolis. I think Kiwi's still opting for the 3 TC approach. Yes, he is. Kiwi's actually going up to Imperial Age now. Kiwi finally getting the university down now, and making Mangudai now that he has that castle up, which is the unit of choice. So it looks like we are definitely going to see that Mangudai versus Camel fight. Perhaps. There will be other camels in the mix though for the green player. Kiwi looking to do a little bit of raiding, but that will be stopped by the fact that there's TC there now. Also, this army of camels looking to try and pincer the Mongol army. Both players now up to Imperial Age now. Now I haven't checked the blue economy for a while. Yeah, I don't see a lot of stone being... Oh, there's a lot of stone being collected. There is a 5th TC. That explains why he's got such a big economic advantage then, or such a big bill lead, because he's got 5 town centres. Castles aiming to be built by both players. I think the Indian castle will definitely go up. It's a question mark whether or not this castle goes up. It does look like he is sending a lot of villagers forward, so it is possible and probable. Now, I want to know if this castle is in range of that one being built. No, he doesn't see it. Will he see it once it's built, though? No. Okay. Both players then looking to take a bit of map control. Both players also in Imperial Age now. Mangudai on the field. Not quite fully upgraded. This also isn't making that much more at the moment in terms of military. Kind of idled his production, which isn't ideal. Heavy Camel also coming in for Gurke. Building another castle at the top of the lake with this huge camel army coming around the top side, probably looking to do a bit of damage to this part of the eco, but will probably pull it back once he realizes where Mongol army is. Actually, no, he just pulls it back regardless. 4th TC now coming, now up for Kiwi. Trebuchet's being built first by Kiwi as well. That's tantalizingly close. It's only 2 tiles away. Actually, there it is. He sees the castle now, and he reacts immediately Oh, he should react immediately, rather. Gets conscription. I would expect him to start making trebuchets. Yeah, there it is. It's also researching conscription. Oh, that's hindcasting. Never mind. I thought it was conscription. That's conscription. I read it wrong. As you're saying, let Kiwi win now so we get a game 3. Kiwi doing the same, walling his castle in strat so that some siege can't come forward, but then whether or not siege comes forward doesn't really matter with trebuchets out, because they can just lob their 90-kilogram rock over the walls. Heavy camels now approaching for Gurke. Military numbers are the same, but I think Gurke has the better unit, especially with the extra HP. See, that's what I mean. Not extra, extra pierce armor. That's exactly what I mean with the extra pierce armor. The Magadai not really doing that much damage. He also came in and got exactly what he wanted, which was to kill the trebuchet, which was important. Hey Belgian, your second game was very entertaining, I must say. It will be uploaded to YouTube, and it will another engagement coming in from blue player. And with the castle going down, I think Kiwi taps out. He does. And just like that, that's all it took. Mongol player definitely needs the castles though to produce the Mangudai, but I don't think that the Mangudai were ever going to be able to do anything against the camel riders. He needed to mix in like some pikemen or halberdier in with the Mangudai to be able to push back against the camel riders. But overall, good series, very good series. Anyway, what I was saying to you, Belgian, is that I will upload your series to YouTube, and then could I only upload it after the end of the tournament for you? Okay, sure. I'll keep it in my archives and have it uploaded in a couple weeks, I guess. And there's also the VOD on Twitch. 133 vils for Gurke. Yeah, it is quite a considerable economic lead. Kiwi tapping out in game 2, giving the series to Gurke. He was the higher rated player coming into this series, but it was very, very well fought by Kiwi, I must say. Game 1 especially was very, very good fights coming in. I couldn't tell what was going on for half the game because my game broke, but it was very, very well. Very, very good series. Very good series. $53 to 49 in terms of kills. Kiwi did have the kill advantage, but I don't think it matters too much when the Mangudai can't do anything. I do think he could have mixed in pikemen earlier on, like I said, which would have allowed him to push back against these camels, because they're still a cavalry unit. They still are weak to the anti-cavalry units, but didn't make it. Lost his castle and realised the game was only a lost cause from there. GG. If those cavalry archers hadn't been trapped, maybe it would have gone to flank. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Over here, when those cavalry archers got trapped, which was a really, really good play by Gurke, I think he would be able to run those cavalry archers out and gain a little bit more map control. Maybe be able to move them around to pressure this gold, or even was Gurke down here at this point? I don't know, but maybe he would have been able to scout this a little bit later on, and then be able to deny that. It would have given him a lot more options later on if he managed to keep those cavalry archers alive, but he didn't, and it happens.